countdown.
Perfect.
All right. And they should be able to hear us. So anything you say can and will be held against you.
All right, perfect. Let's see. There's Dustin.
Got 7 people on already.
I know, look at that. Nice.
I want to hold off that's mine because I want to show the pigtail and everything. I thought that'd be kind of cool.
Now, it'd been kind of cool, like what David said, if they put the pigtail on, it might be a way to light it.
Yeah, they have to wait forever for it to light. Gonna go a V-cut, huh? Since I'm driving, I can't do Ron pours anymore. You're the one who can do the Ron pours now.
Well, tonight I have a reason to do Ron pours.
Gotta take care of her brother. 10 seconds.
There we go.
Wow. God, we are white.
Speak for yourself. I'm pretty tan.
I just meant the whole...
Yeah.
We are definitely well lit.
Yes.
So anyway, welcome everybody to Tales from the Lounge Cigar Company Spotlight. I'm Ron.
And I'm Chris.
And tonight we have something special we always love going back to. And it's probably been, what, almost a year and a half, almost 2 years since we talked about Select Tobacco Group.
Yeah, this is actually our second year. We're into our second year of doing Tales from the Lounge.
I can't believe you put up with me this long.
I know, right?
My ex-wife didn't. So, but tonight we have something special. We're smoking something special. We're drinking something special because that's what we do here on Cigar Company Spotlight. We talk about cigar companies. We talk about how they got founded. We sit around. We smoke cigars, drink scotch and bourbons, and have a good time. So let's get into it right after.
There you go.
Well, I hope that turned out well. I couldn't see it, so. As we mentioned, we're doing a Select Tobacco Group, and tonight we are smoking this little thing right here, which is called the Bandolero Firecracker. It's not, you can't see this very well, but we'll show some more pictures of other stuff here later. But this Firecracker series was started actually through, do you remember who started these?
United? United had a firecracker.
Well, they're doing them, but they've also done a whole bunch of other companies that have done little firecrackers. Espinosa's did one, and they decided they would do one for the Bandolero. And it's an interesting thing, but really it's just that it's got a fuse on the tail. And I didn't cut mine yet because I wanted you to see that. So they made it kind of look like a firecracker. Now the only problem is you got to cut this off in order to smoke it. You don't actually light that, so it kind of seems backwards to
it'd be nice if it was out front and you could light it and then it would light your cigar too.
Yeah, but the problem is if you lit this, it would take forever to get all the way to here.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
But I'm gonna go ahead and pop the. Actually, I'm not gonna do that way. It looks like it's gonna pull the cap off. So what I'm gonna do is do a straight cut and just cut like that. See if I can do this without destroying the cap. There we go. And I hope everybody's had a good week. Sorry we couldn't make it last week. We had other issues come up, and we just threw on an old show, and you got to see some old garbage that we put together. And so hopefully you enjoyed that, and hopefully you will enjoy tonight. So
I've been waiting for tonight for a while because
oh my goodness,
since we're covering Atabay / Byron Bandolero, and Ron's mad because I got to have be one of the participants in the dinner with Nelson Alfonso, and got to spend some time and getting some more insights, especially some of the we talk about the symbology and meaning behind
symbology.
Yeah,
is
symbology.
that my word?
Yeah, it's my word.
Symbolism.
Symbolism behind the names and all the brands and stuff like that. So we'll talk about that.
Now, folks, let me know if y'all are. Is it freezing up on you?
No, it's good. I think
Okay.
Larry hadn't said anything, so Larry's always the one to point out our inadequacies.
How's our audio going? You know what? I'm gonna reboot my phone since I'm not needing it right this minute. Goodness.
All right, so
Where do you want to start? Since you're now the expert on.
Well, I'm the expert on the Byron series, so I got to spend some time, actually, not only some time with a group of guys with Nelson at dinner at the Cowboys Club, but then after we went back to the lounge, myself and Terry Tompkins got to spend some one-on-one time with Nelson, kind of after everyone had kind of broken up and left, and he was told us a little bit of story behind how the Byron name came to his family. It started out in his family, and then it kind of went under in the late 1800s and got sold, and then another company brought it back and tried to sell the Byron. Didn't do too well, and then disappeared for a while, and then I think it was 98 that Nelson's family was able to reacquire it, and it was kind of the third launch of Byron. So third time's the charm, and done very well. But what I found really interesting, we talk about symbolism and understanding the thought process that goes behind naming of cigars or the images they pick or the color, is you look at the Byron and there's a couple of different names. You've got the Petite Poema, you've got the Poema, you've got the Aristocrat.
Well, let's take half a step back here.
Half a step.
Okay, 3 steps back.
All right.
All right. Let's talk about when did they get started. Now, for those of you who don't know, Cuban cigar brands actually started in the 1810s, and they were nationalized in September of 1960 by Castro, and we know all that mess.
You gotta
But
excuse me because you know why. Keep going.
uh, the I'm sorry. He jumped my train of thought. The Byron line was actually started in the 1850s, and like he said, they ran for quite a few years, and then some issues came up, and they actually closed the doors in the late 1800s, and then reopened. They didn't reopen again; they got sold off, and then came back, and then went out of business again because they couldn't produce the quality that the Byron line, the Byron line originally started with. And each one of the names, the Atabey, the Byron, and the Bandolero, which are all produced by Select Tobacco Group, are related to Nelson Alfonso's family and has their own symbolism. As an example, the Byron is named after Byron Nelson, not only a famous explorer, but a famous poet. They really enjoyed Byron's work, and like I said, poet and writer as well, but they produced that cigar in honor of Lord Byron. The Atabey was actually a tribute to the god Atabey. The Cuban natives had a god, a mother god called Atabey, and that is what you see on Cohiba cigars, and Atabey is a tribute to that god, and she is of fertility and good weather and rain. So, the Bandolero, during the late 1800s, taxes were levied and production was stopped of tobacco coming into Europe. And basically pirates started bringing in tobacco into various places, and those pirates were called bandoleros, and they kept the tobacco trade and the cigar trade moving when Great Britain was trying to block it. So, like I said, all of the names have meanings and related to the history of something significant to the Byron family. And as Chris mentioned, part of the issue with the Byron and Atabey lines were that Cuba owned the rights to the names. And in the late 1990s, Nelson Alfonso was able to negotiate those brand names back into his family's possession. And in 2012, Nelson launched Select Tobacco Group out of Costa Rica.
Right, and the other interesting thing about it was, since he had done all of the designs for all of the Habanos brands, cigars and their ashtrays and stuff,
Which we haven't gotten to yet.
Oh, I haven't. Oh, well,
So-
I thought you had. But
So-
what the thing is,
Go
the
ahead.
thing is that when he did that, they were like, okay, you can have those brands back and you can sell them, but you can't sell them anywhere that Cuban cigars are being sold.
Right,
So which means they're sold in the U.S.
right. Because we're the only ones who still have an embargo
yeah.
on Cuba.
And I'm not mad about it,
No.
because the Byron, Atabey, Bandoleros, I would put up against 98% of all Cuban cigars, that it is better than 98% of all Cuban cigars.
Well, for the price, definitely.
Oh yeah.
You know, and to be honest, I'll put the Bandolero, which is their entry-level
Yeah.
cigar, against about 85% of the entire cigar market.
Yeah.
As you can tell, him and I are both big fans of these cigars, not only for the quality and the flavor of the cigar, but because of the heritage and the passion that we see when we get to see Nelson Alfonso. Now, Nelson Alfonso was born in Cuba, and raised in Cuba, and was actually held for 2 years in a Cuban jail for speaking against the government. He was finally able to escape and get out of Cuba, and when he did, he brought his family legacy with him.
Yep.
And so, he's got a lot of ties, and he still, is very passionate about his family's legacy.
Well, and
the other thing is, he now lives in Spain.
Yep.
And you got to see him. I got to see him briefly a few times while he was here on his last visit last month, but we hadn't seen hide nor hair of him
2 years.
in 2 years since COVID because he couldn't get out of Spain. But he lives in Madrid, Spain, was finally able to come in, and we had just greatly missed him, and I was so glad to see him. It was like seeing a long-lost brother again, and to be honest, I was disappointed I didn't get as much time as I really wanted to spend with him. He was very busy, I understand, and that's why, fuck you, Chris Pennington.
Yeah, I was very fortunate. Yeah, it was good. It was nice, and we'll talk about some of the symbolism that he was able to depart on me when, because it's not really in a lot of their written up literature. You got to talk to him and ask about it, and he'll really tell you. I mean, very humble man.
Very humble, very nice.
Yeah.
And a super genuine guy.
Mm-hmm.
And if you didn't catch it, I actually broadcasted, live streamed a few weeks ago, the session between Brandon Frakes and him doing the Cigar 101 while he was here at Industrial Cigar Company.
Right.
And the knowledge that he imparted on us was just phenomenal. And as usual, it was just a great time. So, let's jump back into a little bit more history. Like I said, EO actually started the new Selected Tobacco Group.
Scrappy. Sorry. It's our mascot.
Out of no, that's our lunch. Out of Costa Rica, and he revealed the Atabay and the Bandolero cigars at a TPC PR trade show in Orlando, Florida. So unlike the majority of cigar manufacturers, the blends for these cigars are fully undisclosed except for parts of the Byron line. And due to this enigma, there are many speculations on what type of tobaccos are used within each blend. Now, what's interesting about the blends is Nelson farms tobacco from just about everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's just not getting Cuban or Nicaraguan or whatever. He's pulling it from Peru.
But he's also doing the best of the best.
Yes.
And the other interesting piece about it, I don't know if you have it later on, but I'm going to jump right into it, is unique about his aging process.
Yep.
I'm going to say when they get to be enrolled and put in the humidor to age, he's got different types of cedar from around the world that the cigars sit in, and the cedar is specifically selected for each type of blend and what he's looking for.
Yep.
And the properties of each of the different cedar protect it from bugs or do different things, right?